Sandra, the Wicked Reseller here. If you're new to my channel, I am an online reseller. I buy things at estate sales, yard sales, and thrift stores, and then I sell them online for a profit. And I'm currently selling on eBay, Etsy, and Grail. So as you guys can see, I am in my office, my regular home office. If you're a regular subscriber, regular watcher of my videos, you know for some time now I have planned to go to Pasadena to go to the Rose Bowl Flea. We have friends that live in LA that have experience going there. So the plan this weekend was to head out there. We're going to have some lunch with Rebecca's sister. Rebecca is my wife. And then we were thinking about hitting a thrift or two, and then going to meet our friends, have dinner with them, and then today, Sunday, go to the Rose Bowl Flea. So, before I tell you guys about this, we are okay. Rebecca's okay. I'm okay. Considering what happened, we're very, 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 very lucky. So we packed up and left yesterday morning and headed into LA. And we were about a little over halfway to LA. And we're driving, and I checked my rear view, and I noticed that there's a guy behind me, and he's fishtailing between two of the lanes. Concerning, of course, because he's still going fast, but he's doing this. It's like he's lost control of his vehicle. So the next thing I know, he's doing this. He overcorrects and goes diagonal right in front of us. So of course, like, I slam on the brakes. He hits the guardrail. His wheels, his two wheels on the driver's side and everything contained within comes off of his vehicle. So his wheels, his rotors, his brakes, everything else in that mechanism come off. The Highway Patrol's theory is that when all of those things came off of the car, I had moved over like halfway between, trying to avoid hitting him in total. So I had come over this way. And I was between the fast lane and the next, there. It's a 4-lane highway. So I was between. So when the wheels and everything came off, it hit the side of my windshield. Rolled, and something else hit the driver's side door on like a diagonal. Smashed the window. Completely almost folded in my door, and then continued along the back side of my vehicle and scraped all the way down and tore up some metal there. It pushed in part of my roof. We're not sure what hit it, but something else hit it. And when the glass burst, of course, I got, you might be able to see, but there's a spot here. There's one here, and there's several along here where I was bleeding from, where the window went this. Luckily, I was driving like this, and I must have, when I turned the wheel, I must have kind of done this, because my arm took most of the, that's the worst of it there. These are just small, and almost looks like a rash, and then the other worst one is here. So as you can see, my arm took most of the brunt of the glass. There's not any glass in there, thank goodness. Just a lot of cuts. Rebecca also got some cuts with glass on the left side of her face. There was glass everywhere, all over my car, in our hair, in our ears, down our shirts. In our shoes, everywhere. The back seat was covered in it. So yeah, so after we were hit and I had come to a complete stop, traffic had stopped way behind us because they saw what was happening. Rebecca was like, pull to the side, pull to the side. So I did. I pulled over to the side of the road. We called 911. And the police came, and the CHP came, and they pushed his car out to the side. And I don't think they realized that we were also involved because nobody approached us. Nobody came up to see if we were okay. My arm was bleeding. My face was bleeding. Rebecca's face was bleeding. So we tried to honk and get their attention. I kind of like waved my bloody arm out of the window. And they just weren't paying attention. Luckily, where we were stopped, there was an exit. So the other guy's car was back here, and we had pulled just a little bit past the exit over here. So Rebecca walked in that area where there were no cars back to the cops to let them know. I was able to back the car up a little and get it more kind of off the road by where that car was, so there wasn't like traffic right here because, as you can imagine, I was shaken, and having people blow by you while you're just sitting there is not fun. So, ambulance came, checked me out. They said everything here is superficial. They gave me a Band-Aid for this big one. They checked my vitals. I'm good. We are a little sore today, obviously. No other symptoms or issues, just trying to really get the glass out of clothes and items that were in the back seat. If you've never been in an accident where your window shattered, glass gets everywhere, places you can't even imagine, on you and in your clothes and in the sole, the part of the sole that comes up in your shoe, and if there's even a little hole, which was the case with me, it gets all in there. It's just, it's in my radio. It's crazy. So luckily we have AAA. Luckily, they were able to pick it up. We were within our 100-mile deal. They picked us up, drove us home, dropped the car with us because the shop was not open. And then we came home and we rested. So, today, they picked up the vehicle, and seeing it, after a few days and seeing it out and seeing it on top of that tow truck, the damage looked pretty bad. So we're hoping that it can be fixed. I'm still making payments on this vehicle. I don't want it to be totaled. I don't want to have to go and buy another vehicle. But all said and done, cars can be replaced. People cannot. Looking at the damage, you could tell if the window had been down, if the wheel and the rotors and brakes and whatever had hit even just a little bit lower than they did, there would have been car debris flying at us inside of my vehicle. And I don't think we would have survived. So that is the story of what happened to us on Saturday. When I do editing, I'll insert some pictures of my car, just so you guys can get a little bit of an idea of what happened. But yeah, we're super lucky. I'm incredibly thankful that Rebecca did not get injured. I don't know what I would have done. So, no Rose Bowl. Unfortunately, we'll have to plan to go again. We're definitely gonna try to go back again. I might even try to go to the Long Beach Flea Market, which I hear is it's not as popular and it is less expensive typically. So that might be a better sourcing idea. So we'll see. We'll have to see what happens with the car. Whether or not I'm gonna have to buy a new one. Hopefully not. But yeah. So sorry guys, I wish I could bring you that content, but it's gonna have to wait for a little bit until we get things straightened out. So, but I did have, so far, this weekend, I did have some great sales. Still have some time this evening for people to buy things. So instead of that content, I want to let you guys know my sales. So I'm going to start off with 2 sales that I had today. They are lower end sales, but it's this box of different lots of vintage romance novels that I picked up at a book sale. The good thing about this is that it's going international, so I don't have to take shipping out of the cost. They're going to the same buyer. So one was a lot of Silhouette Desire, 19 vintage paperback romance novels. The other set was a lot of Candlelight Ecstasy romance paperback novels, a lot of 12. So the first one was sold for $19.19, and the second sold for $15.99, and then they of course pay shipping on that. And I'll ship those together using Pirate Ship. Will probably be the cheapest way for me to get those up to Canada, where they're going. The next item is also a low-cost item, but they have been given to me as gifts, and I'm thinning out my collection. So I posted a bunch of, if you're familiar with the Geeky Tiki's Star Wars line, I have a bunch of those. I kept 3 of them for myself, and my favorite character. I kept Yoda, C-3PO, and R2-D2, my 3 favorite characters. The other ones I put up for sale, and this was the Stormtrooper one. It's sold for $14, and I charged $8.50 shipping. Starting to charge shipping on heavy items to offset my shipping costs. I think I'm probably at some point going to migrate to charging shipping on all items, but right now anything first class is still free. So, the next item is an item that I had mentioned in a previous video that I didn't get paid for, but on the very last day of the unpaid item case, the guy actually paid, which I'm super surprised, because he sent me a message and he's like, the hat's too faded, I can't resell it, and I'm like, well, I can't cancel the order, because it's in an unpaid item status. eBay won't let me cancel it. So I said we can let it run its course. Once the unpaid item case is done, I'll relist it, and we'll be done. And he changed his mind. He decided to pay for it. So whatever. So that was $49, and that was I don't know if I mentioned, it's a cat patch hat, vintage snapback. So those are the 4 that I had on eBay, and I told you guys I started Grail maybe a week or 2 ago using List Perfectly's bulk cross-posting tool. So I'm cross-posting anything streetwear, vintage, men's stuff over to there as well, because I hear it's a really good marketplace to sell that on, and I do tend to pick up a lot of men's items. I wear men's clothes, so I'm familiar with it, so it feels comfortable for me to pick up that kind of stuff. So I've been cross-posting there, and then I haven't been using their smart pricing, which is you can select a floor price, and then they will reduce it by 10% every 7 days, and it also bumps it to the top of search. So I hadn't been using that. Katie said that she's been using it. Katie Zilberberg, my friend and fellow reseller. So I said, I'm gonna everything on there is $8 shipping domestic. I'm just gonna put the minimum price I'll take for it, and then let Grail work for me, basically. So yesterday, while we were recuperating, I got an offer on it's a dairy fresh a Dairy Fresh jacket. It's been on eBay for a while. So it's a jean. It's one of those old school 90s jackets. It's like a jean bomber's jacket. So the front and the back are denim, and then the sleeves are some kind of cotton. They're like tan, and it has Dairy Fresh embroidered on the left-hand side. And I got an offer from a guy for $89. So I was like, sold. So that's sold. He paid. I'm going to get that packaged up either later today, tomorrow morning, and get that sent off. So my first Grailed item. It's awesome. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. So this is going to be another short video. And again, I wish I had more reseller content, but I don't. Tomorrow I am, tomorrow I am scheduled in the morning to get picked up by Enterprise. They're going to take me in to get set up with a rental car until mine either gets fixed or whatever happens with it. And yeah, so Monday I'm probably not going to do any sourcing or anything. I'm probably going to do my packaging, and then I'd like to organize my office a little and get in my inventory and just double check everything, make sure everything is listed. Sometimes stuff falls off of eBay in particular. But I'm thinking maybe Tuesday I might go do some sourcing. Tuesday or Wednesday. I do need. I have a couple things here to photograph, but I need some more stuff to photograph and get listed. So we'll see. So in the next video, I'll have some sourcing for you, and whatever I pick up, of course, I'll do a haul as well. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you if you're a subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. It means the world to me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe below and hit that bell to get more content. Get alerted when I upload more videos and more content for me. And of course, any comments or questions, post them below. Any suggestions or anything else you'd like to see from me, I'm always open to suggestions. So. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. See ya.